This video is going to be about a person that I met a couple years ago by the name of Sabrina Bravo. She's a love trap killer. She placed herself, well, the plan was to get me placed into a psych ward where I would meet her, which happened. We hit it off. We fucked. It was nice. She's 26. I was 36 at the time. Um, Little did I know that she was just placed there to try and lure me to my own death, which happened roughly around a year and a half later. Um, it was very weird. It's very odd the day that she wanted to kill me, because it also could be just a psyops. But she was charged for assaulting me because she did walk into my apartment and start beating me and ripped off like a whole bunch of hair right here. And I was like cut on my arm or whatever. And apparently she was charged, but I do believe those charges have been withdrawn because she's a fucking police officer, I believe. Or she's in the military, one or the other. So yeah, it was a year and a half relationship where I was led on to believe that she liked me when she didn't. And things didn't work out well for her. I believe that she wanted to overdose me. I believe that was the goal, was to overdose me. But that day, she was like making me watch these like Christian movies, and she wanted me to watch. What's her? Oh yeah, Venom. She wanted me to watch the Venom movie because that's how she sees herself. She sees herself as Venom, where she latches on to people, latches on to men, and leads them to fucking die with overdoses. She's a little bit of a Black Widow, so to speak. Um, I don't know if this is true or not, but she did say to me that she has killed before by a man named Alan, doing the exact same thing, overdosing him. So, if anything, she's probably going to continue doing what she does, and she's going to keep seeing herself as Venom. So, um, apparently, she's still very much involved in my life. Apparently, she's the perpetrator herself. She may be sitting in somebody else's head. Her family, I believe, are my perpetrators. Her cousin, her aunt, or something like that. Either way, I have her family sitting in my head 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for over 4 years now. And that's what neural monitoring does. They sit in your head, they neurally monitor your brain, they see everything that you think, they see everything that you see, and they can hear everything you hear. Very advanced, sophisticated technology that allows them to spy on people without their knowledge or without their consent. This is definitely police tactics. They even pulled a Mr. Big Show at my job where they made it look like they wanted to kill me. And these are all the same people. They were able to get a man on the job site that was not in the union and that was not hired onto the company. But here he was showing up, making it look like he is some mafia don, some Jewish mafia don, I should say at that. But I believe that is all a psyops. That wasn't the case at all. But yeah, he made himself to be like a Hell's Angel, which is weird. I got no business with these people. I'm not a biker. I'm not a gangster. I'm not affiliated anywhere in any way. I'm just pretty much on my own here. And this is why I've been documenting and saying everything that I know, because I am doing this by myself. I am pretty much facing off against a lot of people here that want nothing but my death. And They have been psychologically fucking with me for 4 years, and they have tried to kill me 8 separate times. I have a big scar on my forehead right here from a coworker who tried killing me at work back in October of 2022. This Mr. Big Show that happened to me happened on March 22nd, 2024. So throughout the last 4 years, they have inserted themselves into my life under false pretenses, which it's police tactics. They train you for this in police college. And they're making it seem like it's not them at all. They've psyopsed me into believing that they are the mafia. And they have psyopsed me into believing the fact that the mafia is in fact no different than the police. They work together. I do believe, because of this whole Hells Angel thing, that they have infiltrated the Hells Angels and they are getting the Hells Angels to do their dirty work. Or they outright just work for the police now. Because of the neural monitoring technology and the voice to skull and the fact that they stuck me with nodes, they stuck me with military technology, and they brought me into their world. Which is why I get to hear them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as they subjected me to MK Ultra for 4 fucking years. They still are. They still put me down. MK Ultra is where they put you down, they call you names, all they say is negative things about you. And the COINTELPRO, this is what I know. They COINTELPRO'd me to get everybody to turn against me. So they're talking shit about me everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, everyone I see. And I don't know if they're sticking them with this cloaked fucking silk technology, but I believe that my friend may have been fucking connected to these things as well. So they're connecting all the people I'm coming in contact with, maybe? I'm not too sure. But it's a pretty serious fucking conspiracy. And this is the only way I can document it or prove anything. I can't really prove anything because it's all being done undercover. It's all covert action. So nobody's going to take any responsibility for doing all of these shitty things that they've been doing to me over the last 4 or 5 years now. I'm going on 5 years now. So, my life has been in danger for a really long time. They have and continue to watch me 24 hours in this building because they own this building. Or they're allowed to work in this building. But I'm pretty sure they own it and the one next door. They have very dirty operations going on in the city of Toronto that involve neural surveillance, voice to skull technology, and gang stalking tactics. Now, gang stalking is, as I've said before, protocoled by the healthcare industry to be treated as a mental health issue. The police, well aware of this, are gang stalking people and nothing's being done about it because the healthcare industry thinks it's just a mental health issue when it's not. It's actually a police corruption issue. It's actually a government conspiracy so they can continue to do this to people and terrorize them and torture them and get away with it. It's a fucking conspiracy, and it's real. So all those people that you've heard on the internet complaining about gang stalking, it's not a mental health issue. They're not crazy. They're actually being gang stalked, and they're being gang stalked by police officers and military personnel. All this is being done with the help of the American and Israeli militaries, who are conditioning our soldiers and our police officers and indoctrinating them into serving their needs and their fucking wants and not the ones of their citizens in this country. This is why they don't do anything. You're wondering why the police aren't doing anything? They're too busy gang stalking people, they're too busy neurally surveilling them, and they're too busy trying to figure out how to take them out and disappear them because they tried to stuff me in a dump truck. which leads me to believe that it's the police that are putting bodies in the landfill and trying to blame it on the mafia. There. That's perfect. You get away perfectly with any murder. Which is why they wanted me to keep talking about the fact that I'm being tormented by the mafia, which I know I'm not. Nobody says they're in the fucking mafia. Nobody says, I'm in the mafia, you need to go. I've never heard anybody say that. As far as I know, and as far as I'm concerned, that is not how the mafia operates. But I would not be surprised if it is. I doubt it. But if that's the case, then they have neural surveillance and voice-to-skull technology, and they're targeting people, which doesn't make any sense to me because they're not making any money off of this. They're not making any money off of me. They're not trying to extort me. Sabrina tried to extort me out of $10,000 because she spent $10,000 love bombing me, buying me things, taking me out, showering me with money to gain my trust, so she could kill me and get away with it. Supposed to be a missing person. I'm supposed to be buried under 900 Bay. Yeah, Karen, I don't like how you got my coworker to try and kill me and bury me in a government building. Now that is some serious fucking corruption. See, I talk to them all the time. I don't bother thinking at them. I talk to them. But they can see everything that I think. I don't need to say anything to them. I just need to think at them. But I'm done with that. I'm going to be vocal and very vocal about my situation, about my predicament, and the police corruption that I'm dealing with. And these fuckers, if you look into some of the police corruption cases here in Ontario, you're going to see some wild fucking stories. And mine is just on par with them. So I am not lying or making anything up when I say these things. This is from my experience over the last 4 years of dealing with these fucking people. They made me quit my job, but they also hired me. They hired me. They hired me so they could give me money and then take it all away from me. As I was giving it all to my family, I was catching up on child support payments that I really needed to fucking catch up on. And now I'm unemployed and unable to pay fucking child support. They took that away from me. Those dirty fucking pig bastards. Mafia. Some fucking mafia they are. Some fucking mafia. So the mafia, if they are the mafia, they work very closely together with the police and the military, and there's actually no difference between the police, the military, and the mafia. They're all one organization, and they're all transhuman, and they all go to Israel to become transhuman. Okay, it's a known fact that we send our police. It's a known fact that we work with their military. Okay, so they are making all these soldiers, all these fucking police officers, and all these mafioso into transhuman people that can communicate via synthetic telepathy, and that's just it. They don't need to say anything. They just need to think at each other, which implies a hive mind, which would be the American military industrial complex. So the police here in Canada have no sovereignty. The police here in Canada actually don't represent Canadians. They represent Israel. They owe their allegiance to Israel for making them into superhuman beings by making them transhuman, by giving them the ability to communicate via synthetic telepathy, which is a very real thing, because that's what they did to me. They made me transhuman without my knowledge, without my consent, and they did the exact same thing to my brother in Manitoba as he's going through the exact same thing. These are police and military tactics.